Many of the Essex Ravens have gone on to great heights, but nobody has gone on to the heights of the man standing beside me. Number 1 for the Ravens, number 2 for the Western Mustangs, and number 83 for the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Andy Fantuz, Hall of Famer for sure, no doubt about it. And Andy, it's great to have you back home.
Oh, that's very kind of you, and it is great to be home. It's been a few years since I was able to get to a Ravens game, and we certainly weren't playing on this field when I was playing, but still, great to be back and see some old faces and yourself and Glenn and the rest of the crew. So, yeah, just an honor to be here. It's 20 years since we won the championship.
The ring from
2002. It's hard to believe these kids are 20 years old, not even. So it's
well, some of them
awesome.
Weren't even here on this earth at that time.
I know. It's awesome.
And I was. Oh yes, I was here. I was here then for a long time.
You were a couple years old.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. But that was a great game. We beat Mississauga, and it was really tense until the end. And I know that our quarterback, Kevin Gallagher, dropped back on a play that John Rudak, the offensive coordinator, called, and it was a pass to you, and I said on the air, Rudak has huge cajones to call that play, but it worked. You caught it, it kept the drive going, and it sealed the victory for the Ravens.
Yeah, I remember that play. You know what? Playing for the Ravens is what really put me on the scene in football. Coming from Chatham at the time, there was no summer football to play, and our high school team wasn't very good. So coming here and getting to play 8 games instead of just a 5-game high school season, getting top-notch coaching and development and training and workout regimens is what really took me to the next level and prepared me for the next step. And so I'll never forget my time here and everything, all the support the coaches gave me, the community, and I come back to the banquets every couple of years, and I'll be a Raven for life, for sure.
Well, it's always great to have you back home, Andy. One of the plays leading up to that game, and I remember, and I mentioned it on the air, Steve Fantuz, who was a great defensive back for us, was returning punts. And you were leading him down the field, and I thought, I looked at Rick and I said, there's no way Fantuz's going to make it. All of a sudden, you blew up the defender and put him right in his backside. We'll try and keep that as clean as we can say, but he was right down. Fantuz took it to the house. Ravens went on to win, and it led to the championship game, and that was just a tremendous play. So you like to mix it up as well as catching passes.
Oh, yeah, I like to get physical here and there, and I even played a little defense at my time with the Ravens, but I do remember that play. It's been on highlight reels for a long time, and I saw a couple of nice plays today that'll be on that same highlight reel. So it's great to see these kids excelling, and I was talking with a few of the coaches, and the program just keeps growing and growing and growing. So it's been awesome.
Well, it's interesting because when you left the Ravens, first you were thinking of going to McMaster. You pulled back from that. You ended up at the University of Western Ontario and played for Larry Haler, the late and great Larry Haler, with the Mustangs. And your first year, weren't you the Rookie of the Year in the then CIS?
I was, yeah. I think the Ravens has a lot to do with that, because my first year playing here was my 4th year of high school, and we still had OACs at the time. So I was eligible to play 5 years, but I had fast-tracked with my education and committed to MAC, and then I had such a good Ravens year that I thought, well, maybe I'll come back and try to get a scholarship or see what happens down that road, because I wasn't really considering football until that first year playing Ravens in 2001. And then I played 2 seasons here, and then I went to Western and shattered the season record book.
The first year there.
Yeah, it was all because of the Ravens. You know what I mean? And but yeah, I had a great season that'll be tough to touch, but I hope some of these kids here will beat it next year when they start university.
Well, I do too, but you set the gold standard, no question, Andy. And you went on to be an All-Canadian 4 years in a row. You won the Heck Creighton as the most valuable college football player in the country in your last year, and then you ended up in Saskatchewan, and you ended up with number 83. And why was that number significant to you?
Well, I was born in '83, so I don't know if a lot of people know that, but when '83 was in my locker, I was number 1 at Ravens. When I went to Western, that wasn't available, so I took number 2 for, twos and my little chant, and so that treated me well at Western. And then when I went to Saskatchewan, number 2 was taken by a fellow receiver, Corey Grant. '83 was in my locker, and I thought this is perfect because that's something that's going to mean something to me forever because it's my birth year, and I just ran with that for the rest of my pro career. No matter where I went, I was always '83.
Well, and in your second year, you won the Grey Cup, and you were the most valuable Canadian player in the Grey Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was wild. I won the first time I played in the Grey Cup, and then I lost 4 in a row after that. So, that year was remarkable. I scored the winning touchdown, which goes down as one of the best plays in Grey Cup history. So, it was pretty special time in my life.
Well, talk a little bit about Fantuz Flakes.
Well, I remember exactly where I was when I got the call in the off season. Co-op, which is a grocery brand out in the prairies, they said, we're going to trying to raise some money for the Children's Hospital in Regina, and they want to build a cereal with my name on it, Fantuz Flakes. And I thought, yeah, of course, that sounds awesome. And they're like, what kind do you want? And I said, well, what are you thinking? Because I've always liked cereal, as long as it's somewhat healthy and it looks good, and then I don't care as long as it's going to raise money. And we sold out within a couple hours, and we raised $65,000 for the Children's Hospital, and I still have some boxes today. But you can't eat them; they'll kill you. They're 10 years expired.
Well, it's an understatement to say that football is important in Regina and Saskatchewan, the whole province. They follow the Rough Riders like religiously.
Oh, they do. I was treated very well out there, and it was eye-opening. I hadn't really experienced that type of fan base before going there, and I really enjoyed my time out there. It was completely focused on football. Everything means so much to those people, and Rider Nation. I see them all over the world. I see Rider flags flying, and then coming to Hamilton was pretty similar. It was another great fan base, and it was a different chapter in my life where I was kind of more thinking about my post-football career, and I was closer to home. So it was like a family reunion every single game for family and friends. So playing football really united the people in my life on the regular basis, which was really special for me. So both cities I enjoyed tremendously,
yes, you ended
and
up in
I couldn't have asked for anything more.
Yeah, and Hamilton was where you ended your career, and I know the people back in Burlington are enjoying this interview right now.
Yeah, I reside in Oakville, close to Burlington, and a couple of these boys I work with on the regular basis, and I still do some broadcast, what you do, but not quite what you do. I'm trying to be like you, but I do it for the Ticats, some of the broadcasting. So I'm still involved with football, and I always will be. I gave so much to me, I want to give back.
Well, thanks for wearing number 1 when you were out there to begin the game, and wearing your championship ring, because I know you've got some bigger rings.
Yeah.
But it's great to have you here, Andy. Thank you so much for coming home and being with us. And again, once a Raven, always a Raven.
Thanks, Ross. I love you, man.